blame God for not talking when 400 years of silence came before Samuel came. Remember? 400 years of silence before Jesus comes. And there's another 400 years of silence in there somewhere before another prophet comes. And Jesus disrupts and makes people so mad because he says, no, it's man's fault. We always want to blame God. Jesus says, you're to blame, Jason, because you don't listen clear enough. You listen to man because you want man's approval. But do you care about what I think about you? When you get done doing what you do you go back to your bed at night? And do you really ask me? And do you really listen? Do you really care? Jason, will you dream for me the way that I've dreamed for you? Because I dream for you every night. I wait for you to walk in your destiny and your calling every night. And I've called you to be my friend. Now listen to this. So the command to love, it automatically makes you obedient. So living according to commandments, Jesus saying that, he's not saying, if you do it, there's not even any of this. This is what it is. The command to love is this. You're so in love with the Father, and you know him so well, that a reversal happens in your mind and a renewal of your heart starts happening. And all of a sudden, commandments are no longer rules and regulations. But commandments are your joy because you know what your Father's doing. So you're not thinking anymore. What the heck did I get this regulation for that I got to live up to? And you're also not thinking anymore. You don't even think this way. You don't look over. You don't look under. You don't look around you. You don't figure out what Tom, Dick, and Harry's doing. Hey, that guy's drinking over there, and I think drinking's wrong because I was always told that drinking's wrong. Well, drinking might be wrong. It may not be wrong. Smoking may be wrong. It might not be wrong. Who cares? Stop thinking about that. Listen to me. Stop thinking about it. Because it doesn't take a Christian to tell you that smoking's bad for you. So is that what we are? A bunch of, non-smoking people? I'm 25 years old. I've been a Christian my whole life. 25 years old, guys. I'm in seminary. I'm almost done. That means Greek, Hebrew, study, everything. And my wife, both of us. It's double. I'm sitting in my worship room one night. I never had sex before I was married. I never did drugs. None of it. People think I do drugs. I never did. Listen. And I hear the Spirit of the Father come to me and say, so when are you going to start living for me? And I told him my list. He said, when are you going to start living for me? Because all of those things, Jason, they weren't for me. They were for you. Reversal in the Spirit right there. Boom! Wait a minute. You think I owe you something in heaven? Do you get some nice little pearl of great price because you don't have a sexually transmitted disease? Do you think I owe you something for living right? So stop with your little choir boy attitude, Upton. Running around, pointing your finger at people that you think got off. And so when I tell you to go love them, you can't love them just the way they are and wait until they ask you why. You got to change them and fix them according to your regulations and rules because you missed the whole point of my commandments to you. It's because I'm crazy about you. You think that you lost out You think that you lost, and I'm telling you, you saved. So we run around trying to figure out why I can't drink, but that brother that says he's a Christian can. And so we make a doctrine, and we even divide ourselves because of that. And all along, God says, when are you going to start loving me? When are you going to start living for me? When are you going to come into the place where you know what I'm up to? I'll give an example tonight. Tonight in the middle of my message, God already rebuked me tonight, or reproved me. I should have never made mention of a man that got on that TV after I was talking about Billy Graham. And I've done it many, many times, and I can't do it anymore. Because it doesn't matter. God doesn't want us to be thinking impurely. He just wants us to look at those that we look at as heroes of the faith and just look at them. Don't worry about comparing. And I apologize to you for that. I don't need to compare between Billy Graham and some young man. So God, forgive me for that. But God, give us the truth tonight, that we can live it, that we can be free. Really, the truth. Like Mother Teresa lived, like Billy Graham lived. Give us the truth of the faith of our fathers, like all those people, like those prostitutes that you called heroes of the faith in Hebrews. Just because they believe that you are God, and we say tonight we believe that you are. And we're going to believe that you are until we see you. We're going to close our eyes and just believe until we see you. We're going to believe that you are until we see you, because we know you are. You said you are. And I believe that my eyes are blind. I believe that my faith is cold. I don't believe that you're not real. I have faith, and my faith is that you're big enough and awesome enough to figure out ways to speak to me. And you can open our ears of understanding, and we can begin to hear in the middle of the night. We can begin to hear when we're all alone. We can begin to hear outside of the church. We can be able to hear on an airplane. We can be able to hear in the workplace. We can begin to be the church that you created us to be. Father, you called us into it. You chose us. And I'm really thankful that you chose me. 1973, I was an illegitimate boy. My father was orphaned when he was 13. He was 17. My mom was 19. He was a full-blooded Sioux Indian boy from Minnesota. And I was illegitimately conceived. And somebody in the midst of that illegitimacy, my grandmother on my mom's side, believed that God had purpose and destiny on me. And regardless of my circumstances, that I was a word sent forth from heaven that will not go back up until it succeeded in what it was sent to do. My mother named me Stephen. You know what Stephen means? It means a lot of things, but one of the terms for it from the Bible is irritator, or agitator is really the best one. Agitator, isn't it? Agitator. And my parents that adopted me named me Jason, which among a lot of things means healer. So God breathes on all that and has probably his own name for me. So I'm like the agitating healer. But more than that, he calls me friend. He calls you friend, and he says, come on. Come on, you drug addict. Come on, you crack addict. Come on, you choir boy. You're both the same to me. Right? I'm looking at you both, and I'm saying both of you are equally capable of being my friend. So I'm singing a song over you, and then have Pastor come. My little boy, Samuel, he comes into my worship room 2 weeks before Easter. And